You know, so like I said, I don't take nobody's credit, you know, but I know for a fact that the things that I did and the ideas that came from my brain that God gave me, you know, it's stamped. You know, I have my receipts. You know, I've been around all these artists and they know who I am, you know, and I appreciate all of them. You know, it was a time, the Warlocks, that's who they was called.
Well,
the
for the
Warlocks. The
Warlocks.
Locks.
Yeah.
The Locks.
Yeah.
Big shout out to the Locks.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
they was called the Warlocks.
Remember that.
Back then. But I was a part of that whole situation as far as switching that name to just cut it and leave the war out of it and just keep it as the Locks. You understand? So at the end of the day, these are the names. You understand where this come from? The young MEL LOVE. You understand?
Okay.
Because they asked me, yo, what you think about this? You know, so being a part of, you know, these people's movements and believing in them, it was a time where, you know, I was in the background. Like I said, it was between the Warlocks and Mo Money and Genovese, you know, that was going to get signed. Now, I love Genovese and Mo Money from Harlem and everything like that, but the consistency wasn't like the Locks.
Okay.
You understand? Plus, Mary J. Blige was the one that brung the Locks to us.
Yeah,
so at the end of the day, big shout outs to Mary J. Blige, my Capricorn sister. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Right? So, you know, at the end of the day, big shout outs to Yonkers. You know what I mean? YO. I appreciate y'all. So, you know, every time I see Jada Kiss, he always give me a hug, dab, show me love. You know what I mean? That's family. All of them is family for life because I work with these people and I work their records. I'm the one that was standing there, hand and foot, just talking to the DJs. You got to play this record. So if it wasn't for people like myself, Super Mario, and the rest of the street team, these records wouldn't be out there being played. So, you know, this is where I've been talking about where the artists got to realize who was the people behind the scenes, behind your career that was pushing y'all, you know, and I was one of those people. So y'all got to acknowledge that. It's cheer to cheer. This is MEL LOVE, link to link, the movement you want to move with, the outlet, all the plugs come to me, and you're watching Posse TV. It's cheer.